Welcome back to Fin Talk with Anil. We are on our day 9 of 30 days, 30 financial topics, and today I'm gonna tell you how the NPS will help you retire safe. So, before we go there, wondered why our parents or those people who wanted to get you into a government job, or people still struggle a lot in various phases of life to get somehow get into a government job. Well, there are two reasons to that. Of course, one is a security, definitely, and then the second thing is the pension, right? So the pension is something, even after you retire or cease to work, you still got your old age covered. You still get some a monthly amount coming in to you for your day-to-day expenses, or for when you're not receiving your salary, right? So guess what? Now that with the hype of not everybody is unable to, or not everybody can score a government job, so majority people are in private jobs. So why not us take the advantage? Why not the people in the private jobs take the advantage of the pension scheme? So with that idea in mind, let's get started with our day. So, the government has come up with this initiative to introduce an NPS, which stands for National Pension Scheme, which is typically for typically for providing a safe retirement benefits, right? So, which is also to promote a habit of savings for retirement, which is something we usually don't do. Under this NPS scheme, individuals typically pool into a pension fund, which is more or less equal to a mutual fund, but this pension fund is regulated by PFRDA, and then there will be some regulated professionals who would be managing these funds, which will further invest these funds into different types of instruments like government bonds, bills, corporates, debentures, and shares, etc. Yeah. So, to save it, let us see the objective of. So, let us see the objectives of NPS. Uh, a substantial corpus creation for one's retirement phase is an essential aspect to take care during financial planning. Yeah, it not only allows individual to fulfill their expenditure requirements, but also allows them to sail through their post-retirement life with uh, the least hassle. We are like the country with the most youth, but then the youth are already, it's like a thing of 10 years old already, when then the youth is growing old, and at one point we are going to have that senior citizen demography, or maybe the country with the highest senior citizens at one point, right? So to address this and introduce schemes like NPS, the scheme allows for systemized savings during one's working years, that kind of creating a financial discipline among individuals to save for the future, right? So, that being said, so let us understand some flexible options of investments in NPS. So, to understand this better, let us understand what are the different types of NPS available out now. That typically a tier 1 and a tier 2, where a tier 1 is a default account with very limited withdrawals or so ever, and a tier 2 is where typically you behave like a investor, where you can do a flexible investment and flexible withdrawals. Yeah. So let us further clearly understand what are this tier 1 and tier 2. So as I said, in tier 1, the withdrawals are usually not permitted. We will see that. And in tier 2 it is permitted. Tax exemption is up to 2 lakhs per annum. That is like if I have to go into that, you can claim up to a 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh of deduction under chapter 6A, 80C, section 80C, uh, of 1 lakh 50,000, and then there is something, an additional 50,000 deduction in the Section 80 CCD1B, then additional 50,000 deduction for the NPS investments. Yeah. So that is only available in Tier 1, of course, but then for Tier 2, it is only available for employees or government employees who do a 1.5 lakh or more during the year, right? So, minimum contribution for tier 1 would be starting from 500 as low as 500 or 1000 per annum. But then in tier 2, it starts from 250 rupees, right? Maximum contribution in both the cases, there is no limit. So, that being said, let us move on and understand, like as a in tier 1, usually the withdrawals are not permitted, subject to if you are someone who are really in need, if you are someone who really wants the money, then you can definitely raise a concern, but provided that is uh, only after you do a 10 years contribution at least, and then you can raise a concern, or the maximum amount permitted for withdrawal would be at 25% of the savings. And mind that there should be a gap between two consecutive withdrawals of 5 years. Yeah. So that being said, let's move on further. Eligibility criteria for NPS. Now, that's the best part. Like I said before, everybody wants to retire, right? Everybody can't work for their life, and everybody wants to secure their post-retirement life. Now that you can't be relying on things, or maybe or may not. So everybody wants to secure their life. So the government has not restricted this kind of advantage. Mind, anybody can enter into an NPS and create a plan for yourself, calculate properly. We'll see how much you require to plan according to how well you want to live after your retirement, right? So everybody, including the government, corporate employees, or citizens, or businessmen, or any eligible criteria. So everybody are uh, entitled to get the tax benefit, as well as everybody are entitled to uh, enter into the schemes, right? So the returns in NPS typically depend on the performance of the funds. Let us say these are like the mutual funds. These are like the mutual funds, of course, where your funds are typically invested into the market, and the market performance basing on the stock share, etc. And you will get your returns, right? The rate actually keeps on changing, but these are pretty much secure because these are regulated, not like unregulated. These are safe investment. If my idea is not wrong, these funds are pretty much diversified between secured investments and uh, unsecured investments. Like a good portion, like 60-70% of the amount would be invested into government bonds, which gives you kind of a secured return, a fixed percentage of return, while as for the rest 40% would be invested into the stocks to better take advantage of the fluctuations of the market. Yeah. So this is good, right? So that is not sure how much you are going to get, but it is definitely better. Now, there are some best performing NPS returns of 2024. Let us see what are some best performing NPS returns. So, like I have already mentioned earlier, there would be this is not definitely governed, or this is not definitely maintained by the government. These are kind of regulated by the government. Those who are registered with the PFRDA in our case uh, are entitled to, or authorized to manage this fund. So there are many of them, and everybody comes with their own way of investment, etc. So let us see which one is doing great as of now if you're someone who's considering. So I found this on top performing NPS pension schemes as on date. So there are like these are the names of the pension scheme. If you see on a 1 year base, the funds are already giving like a 38%, 34%. Sure, the market is such a going great. Of course, you can't see a short term, which is going to just give you a heart attack. But if you see a 1 month, then it is definitely a lower side. But if you see on a 1 year base or a 3 years base or a 5 years base, then yeah, this mind you, these figures are already annualized. So on a yearly basis, you get up to 38, 40%. As much as it sounds unrealistic if you're someone who are stuck in, in a simple pension funds, like the most popular one is being HDFC, SBI, this kind of banks taking the initiative. They are also kind of giving you a 13 to 15% of safe returns. That is pretty decent, right? So that is, let us say, now, understand better in a way. Um, okay, if you we have been speaking a lot of how you can secure your future with the use of NPS. So, how much do you actually need to invest? So, I'm someone. Let us say I found this calculator online, and let us. So, in my case, let us say I'm someone who's already taking the advantage of 1,50,000. I don't have enough fund to, invest into these kind of things. But I like the idea of taking advantage of the tax benefit because I'm somewhere, even if someone who falls between a 10 to 20%, you save a good amount of tax when you get into these kind of things. Yeah. So let us see if I'm born in 1990. Uh, Six, or someone who's 28 years old, and you're going to invest up to be moderate and up to that time of retirement. And if you're someone who wants to invest per annum, just like me, a 50,000 rupees to take the extra benefit of 80cc right? 1B, and pretty much everybody else are covered. If you're someone who's planning new, then yeah, you can definitely come up with new thing because as the name says, this is a retirement fund, right? You can't just pool all your money because you need to do something else, right? The best way of me doing, if you ask me, is create a save LIC premium, life insurance premium for divide the 1,50,000 and put a 75,000 in the LIC, and the rest of the 75,000 you take the advantage of the stocks, which is fluctuation, which also eligible, like uh, the ELSS, equity linked saving schemes, etc. So you invest into those funds which are eligible. So your 1,50,000 is covered, and you invest the balance 50,000 in here to take the additional advantage from the government. So let us see. I'm going to invest 32. That is calculated, and annual increase in contribution. I'm gonna make it zero, considering I'm not going to increase my contribution. Because my motive is to take the advantage of the tax, right? So my expectation on return on investments, yeah, we have seen the rates like 12%, 20% on, but let us be moderate and take a 10%. I agree with that. Invested in annuity. So my objective is not to get any lump sum. Like, let us understand the annuity. So when you're done, when you reach your 60, so your uh, minimum you have to invest 40% of it in buying an annuity. Annuity is there where the funds start. This is the amount which you are going to get on a month-on-month basis, right? So I have no intention of using this amount on a for my retirement fund. I don't need any lump sum retirement fund, so I will be thinking of it. I would like to convert all 100% of it as an annuity, and rate of annuity is something where you get a return after the investment. Let us say you already pulled an amount of some amount, and then even when you're withdrawing, it is going to give you a return. Yeah. So let's take it 7%. The system says so. If you follow this, if you invest 50,000 a month, 50,000 a year for balance 32 years, you're going to get a decent 64,000 rupees per month coming into your bank account even when you're not earning, right? That is something pretty safe. Yeah, like I like that idea of you know not having to worry or not having to depend on someone when you're old, right? So that's all, guys. Do let me know what you think about the concept. Do let me know what would you like to hear the next, or I will be keep on finding interesting topics for you. Show me some love, hit that subscribe button. See you all tomorrow. Bye bye.